Morning. When I came out of ocean recovery um, in Blackpool, it was lockdown. The world was a strange, surreal place for me. I had to make my way across the country, 3 trains to pick up my car from my ex, and then I made my way down to Nottingham. So from Blackpool to Hull to Nottingham. Got to my friend Kathy's house and had to take my boots off. Then it was almost like I was, she was in a hazmat suit and I had to be hosed down. I had to jump in a shower, just because she was, panicked. Everyone was panicked about this virus that we seem to have not got used to, but it seems to have become the norm. Masks and all that. But for me, I'd been in a bubble, so it was very surreal coming out of there. I was waiting on my flat to be ready so I could get the keys. That was back up in Tadcaster in Yorkshire, and I made use of my time at Kathy's. I helped her do her garden. I was going out running. I was still smoking, but I was going to the shop to buy my baccy. So I'd walk past the booze aisle. I had no interest in it at all. I was using the tools that I learned in rehab, and I was, I suppose, wanting to make a new life. Now, if you'd put me on a, Jeremy Kyle type lie detector, I would have passed it, because in my heart I believed that there was no way I was going to drink again. I honestly did believe that. So I did 2 weeks there, and on, I think it was like the 30th of April last year, I drove to get my keys for my flat. Then I drove round to my friend's house to pick up all my belongings and that, take them there. Then I drove through to my ex's to pick up my cat Poppy. Now, that didn't go as I'd kind of planned or hoped, I suppose. Not I'd planned anything, but it didn't go as I'd hoped. So I drove home to my new flat, I suppose, with a heavy heart, not making excuses or anything, but I then, before I knew it, found myself with a bottle of vodka, 8 cans of strong lager, and also 4 Beck's Blue, which is bizarre. It's not bizarre, it shows how crafty we think we are, because that was my reasoning behind, if my friend came round and then he could smell alcohol on me, I could just say, well, it's Beck's Blue, I'm not drinking. But anyone that could see that I'd been drinking a bottle of vodka could see that I'd be quite clearly pissed. Anyway, that was my rationale behind it, and it was stupid. That's how we think when we're drinking, or we think we're the cleverest people in the room when we're clearly not. But it goes to show the manipulation, the lying. I would always text friends to say, oh, can you just lend us a £5? I'll pay you back. And more often than not, I was really good at paying them back eventually, but people don't want to keep forking out cash for people, and when more often than not, they probably know exactly what it's for. So that's not a great way to live. But at that time, at that point in where you're at, that's all you can think of, a £5, a tenner, get the heaviest amount of alcohol you can get for, the least amount of money. Vodka was always it, and when I was in the flat, that was it. I was social distancing with my neighbours, but they couldn't smell the alcohol on me. I suppose during the day I was kind of compos mentis, so that was fine. It would only be in the evening that I'd maybe, video call some of my friends that would then start to realise that I was relapsing again, and they were getting sick of that. I did honestly try to reduce my drinking. I tried to stop the vodka, and just drink wine, and I'd maybe last like 2 or 3 days on maybe 3 bottles of wine a day, but that would soon ramp up. I would think, oh well, you can do this, Jim. You've fixed this. You know, you've managed to reduce it. Treat yourself with a bottle of vodka. So that would it, and then the cycle would just continue. So it was a tough thing to kind of combat, I suppose, and I didn't combat it at all. It was only until I really got over here that I then reached out, went to meetings, had the support of my family, that managed to make me turn a corner. It got to a point where I was doing meetings 6 days a week, I think. It was quite a tough thing for me at first, because I was going in there, I was still, I suppose, feeling depressed. Alcohol's a depressant. I was feeling down on myself. I was thinking, I don't want to talk to anyone. Nobody wants to talk to me. But then I went into the rooms and you know, I started hearing stories of people that were in a similar boat to me, and it took a good few weeks, but I really kind of, I suppose, started feeling at home. And it got to the point where at weekends, when I didn't have any meetings, I had a Zoom meeting, but I didn't have any face-to-face, and that really started grating on me. I hated weekends. It used to be a point where, you know, everyone loves a weekend, but I started really missing my meetings and not knowing what to do with myself at the weekends. So I did find a few Zoom meetings online, but it wasn't the same. So when Monday rolled around, it would be, you know, fantastic to get back into the meetings, and the more and more I went, I mean, I just thrived on them. You know, I thrived on my shares. I didn't really know what I would say. I didn't plan on my shares, but as soon as it got to my turn or whatever, I would just open up, and all of this honesty and truth came out, and that's where I'm at now. You know, I'm still working through my steps. I do still go to smart meetings as well. I try everything, but for me, the shares are the most important thing, because I listen to other people intently, and I just kind of wait for my turn, and when it's my turn, I just open up and find all these home truths, I suppose, that are, that come out for me, and where my struggle has been. And every time I come away from a meeting, I just feel absolutely buzzed. I still do now, and this is nearly 5 months on. Unfortunately, at the moment, it's lockdown. I think we're day 4 now. I'm okay. I'm doing well. It's not a major issue for me at the moment, because I've got lots to keep me busy, and this is helping as well. I spoke to my sponsor this morning, and he talked about wanting to do a guest appearance on it, so we might do a little kind of talking heads thing. He agrees with me on the stigma around disclosure, so we want to discuss that a bit further. But really, I just wanted to talk about the meetings and the groups and Zoom. Just reach out. When I left rehab, I had to put a plan together of what I was going to do. I never did any of it when I went into my flat. I just kind of, everything fell away. It was all about making a structure, a plan structure for your days, making sure you do meditation, making sure you set aside time for what you want to do, and then also look for groups and meetings and reaching out to people. I didn't do any of that. And that is essentially why I relapsed again and again and again, because I thought stupidly that I could do it myself, and I couldn't. I need support from people, whether it be family, people in recovery, people even at the drug and alcohol team up at the hospital. All of these things, every single part of it I utilize as much as I can. Reading Quit Lit, as they call it, literature on quitting, on how to stay and quit. Watching YouTube videos, I do that. I did notice there aren't as many YouTube videos as I'd like to have seen. So this is exactly why I'm doing this. I just hope that, you know, my honesty and my openness can help at least one person. So please, you know, hit the like button if you like it, hit the share button if you want to share it to people, and subscribe, because as I say, I will be doing a lot more videos. So yeah, thank you, and try what works for you. Try a bit of something, try a bit of another thing, and, you know, ask me any questions. You know, my DM's always open on my Instagram, which I'll put a link on this video. And, you know, I answer everyone. I don't discriminate. I will try and help as many people as I can, because it helps me to help other people. So thank you again for listening. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you're enjoying the content. But have a good day, and stay safe and stay strong. Thanks.